Hi, boys and girls. We have here today Tom's Tale by Linda Jennings and Tim Warnes. Tom's Tail. Tom's tail was curly like a rolled-up rubber band. It was a very neat and little tail for a piglet, but Tom thought it looked silly. In all other ways, Tom was a proper little pig. He was a nice pale pink with dirty patches where he had wallowed in mud. He slurped and snuffled in the pig trough with his brothers and sisters and made all the usual piggy noises. But how he wished he had a straight tail. Do you have a tail? Sam the sheepdog had a lovely furry tail. Henry the horse had a long swishy tail. And Betsy the cow had a thin stringy tail with a little tuft on the end. Even the rat's tail's nicer than mine, said Tom sadly. Why don't you get your tail straightened? Said Henry. How? Asked Tom. Like this, said Henry as he put a big hoof on the end of Tom's tail. Now walk away. Tom squealed and squeaked as he began to walk. His tail stretched out, and when he had uncurled all the way, Henry lifted his hoof. Bing! Back sprang the tail, and Tom hurtled forward. Ouch! Yelled Tom and Sam together. I'll tell you what, said Sam, picking himself up. Why don't I take hold of your tail, and you can lead me along? That should straighten it out. So Tom took Sam for a walk, past the pigsty, around the pond, and over the buttercup field. That's enough, squealed Tom. Let me go. Bing! Back sprung the tail to its usual curly self. Tom felt sad. Betsy looked at Tom and chewed thoughtfully. Suddenly, she had a very good idea. She told Sam, who took hold of Tom's tail again and stretched it. Then he pushed the tail into a big patch of gooey, sticky mud. He made Tom lie with his tail covered in mud for a very long time until the mud dried and Tom's tail was sent into a long, thin pencil. Yippee! Cried Tom. He twirled around trying to see his new straight tail. Ouch! Said Sam. Tom's pointy tail had poked him in the chest. You look silly, said Tom's mother. But Tom liked looking different from the other pigs. I'll wag my tail like Sam does, he said. Whack! Tom's tail hit his sister in the face, and then he poked his brothers behind. Stop it, Tom! They both shouted. When it was dark, Tom's mother gathered in all her piglets for the night. They liked to snuggle up in a big heap, but Tom's tail got in the way. Go away, cried all of Tom's brothers and sisters, and they chased him right out of the pigsty. Poor Tom. He tried to curl up outside, but it wasn't very comfortable to lie down with a tail as stiff as a pencil. Finally, though, he was able to fall asleep. During the night, it began to rain, but Tom went on sleeping. As it rained, the hard mud softened and slid off Tom's tail. By the time morning came, his tail was as curly as it had ever been. Grunting happily, Tom went back to the pigsty. Who wants a straight tail anyway, said Tom later, as he pushed into the trough with all his brothers and sisters. Now, if I had a long, elegant nose like Henry the horse, instead of this silly, stumpy snout, I could really get at that food. And that was the end of Tom's Tale. How did you like the book? Leave us a comment. Thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to tap on the notification bell for the next story. To buy this book, check out the links below. Take care now. Bye bye.